Hello everybody, welcome back to the English Club. This is my third video that I'm posting on this channel and I have posted an introduction and parts of speech video. If you have not already watched it and subscribed, please do so. Please do like and share also. If you've already subscribed, please do like and share these videos with your friends and acquaintance, everybody you know, so that everyone can benefit. Today's video is going to be about punctuations, how a punctuation mark, a basic simple mark, can change the way a sentence looks, and how beautifully it defines the motive of the writer. So let's watch how this video goes. Please do leave your comments and don't forget to like and share. So let's begin with the definition of punctuations. What are punctuations? Punctuation is the use of spacing conventional signs. So when you use signs to space out something, to space out a text, with how it is read, and certain typographical devices. There are certain typographical devices or marks that you use as aids, as help to understanding the correct reading of written text. That is how you read a text, whether you read it silently or you read it aloud, how you understand the text, whether it is a sentence or whether it is a question, how you understand it. Question marks, what do? Their purpose is what? To separate sentences and their elements. And what is the other one? To clarify meanings and denote punctuations, which are denoted by punctuations. So punctuations are marks which talk to you, which tell you about what the sentence is trying to say. There are punctuation marks like the full stop, the comma, the bracket. There are many more, and we're going to be studying them today. Okay. So the punctuations that we would be going through today are apostrophe, brackets, colon, comma, exclamation mark, full stop, hyphen, question mark, semicolon, and speech mark. Speech marks are also called as quotation marks. The first punctuation mark that we're going to be talking about is the full stop. A full stop is a punctuation mark used at the end of a sentence or an abbreviation. It is used when the speaker is saying something. Okay, when you're being told something, when you don't need to answer or reply or respond back. It is that it's a statement. It mostly it's a true statement. Okay, or something that somebody is saying. They're not asking. Okay, when you're saying something, you use a full stop at the end. So abbreviation, yes, between like if you write USA, you write U dot S dot A. That's how you write it. Abbreviation or a short form if you write. So you put a dot over there. That's also a point which is used, which is also called as full stop. The name doesn't change, but the use changes. The context changes. So as an example of a full stop, I would say my name is Zehra and I've used a full stop at the end. It's a fact. My name is Zehra and I am telling you this. I am not asking you. I am telling you, and because I'm telling you, I'm using a full stop at the end. Now we saw that when we are saying something, we are using a full stop. What happens when we are asking something? Let's see. A question mark is a punctuation mark indicating a question. It is used when the speaker is asking something. So when you are saying something, you put a full stop. When you're asking something, you will put a question mark. Please make sure that you're also focusing on the signs. Look at the signs. The signs that I'm using, I've put them in the bracket so that you know that this is the sign used for this particular punctuation mark. So when I told you that my name is Zehra, I used a full stop. Now when I'm asking you what is your name, I'm going to put a question mark. Why? Because here I am asking you. There I was telling you. Now, full stop tells you that the sentence is over. Okay? Question mark tells you that I want to know something. I'm asking you something. What does the next one, the comma, say? A comma is a punctuation mark indicating a pause between parts of a sentence or separating items in a list. So it's a short pause. It's not as long as a full stop. A full stop is a slightly longer pause. Between two full sentences, when there is a full stop, there's a slightly longer pause. But comma is a pause between a sentence within a sentence. Examples of commas are Jill, I've used a comma here. Who is my sister? Again a comma here. Shut the door. So if I read the sentence, I'm going to read it as Jill, who is my sister? Shut the door. That I'm telling you, Jill. What am I telling you about Jill? Who is my sister? She is my sister. What did she do? She shut the door. So within the sentence, there are three pauses. And the other one would be he liked going to the movies, eating at restaurants, and visiting museums. So here there is a list. What does he like to do? Movies, eating at restaurants, and museum. So if you realize that at the end of the list there is an and. Yeah, and it is always used for more than two items. Because it's just two items, then movies and eating at restaurants or movies and visiting museums. But because it is more than two, they've used a comma. Then, what is a semicolon? A punctuation mark indicating a pause. Okay, now remember, even comma was a pause, even semicolon is a pause. Typically between two main clauses, two main ideas. The group of words that comes before and after the semicolon should form a complete sentence. Means before a semicolon, the words that are given should make a sentence. The words after the semicolon should make a sentence. And the two sentences should share a close logical connection. It's not that two different ideas are expressed. Both the ideas before and after the semicolon should be connected between themselves. So if you see in this example, it says, we had too many fumbles. We lost the game. We have too many fumbles is a sentence in itself. We lost the game is a sentence in itself. And because it is connected with a semicolon, you can say that we had too many fumbles is connected to we lost the game as being the reason. Why did we lose the game? Because we had too many fumbles. So, what is a colon? A colon is basically a punctuation mark used to indicate or to precede a list of items. It indicates, it shows that a list is going to start thereafter. A quotation or an expansion or explanation. So basically, it will tell you when you see a colon mark, it is going to tell you either that there is a list of items which is going to be followed, or there is going to be a quotation, a saying by somebody which is going to be there, or an expansion or explanation, a detailed explanation. So before that detailed explanation, you put those two dots which indicate a colon sign. There are two choices at this time, run away or fight. So in this example, you can see that the sentence, there are two choices, is telling you that there is a list that is going to happen at this time. There is a list of choices which are going to be given to you. How many choices? Two, which is run away and the other one is fight. So it's telling you that a list is going to begin. What is an apostrophe? An apostrophe is a punctuation mark used to indicate either possession, means belonging, or omission of letters or numbers. So either you want to remove some letters or numbers. In that case, omission means to omit or to remove. In that case also you use an apostrophe. For example, if you see in the sentence, it says, I'm planning to write a book someday. Here, I and am. They could have well written it as I am. That is, I and am. That is A M am. Now instead of writing A M am, they've omitted the alphabet A. What they've done is they have removed the alphabet A. What they've done is they've removed the alphabet A. They've omitted an alphabet. So what they've done is they've removed this, and instead of that they've put an apostrophe. You getting it? So the use of apostrophe, omission of an alphabet, omitting an alphabet, and this is how they've used an apostrophe in this case. Brackets basically come under deeper punctuations, which is more so included as parentheses. So let's see what a bracket is about. What does a bracket do? A bracket is a punctuation mark that's used to set a word or phrase aside from the rest of a sentence. So what does it do? It sets aside, it holds it in a different light. Sometimes dates or other numbers in a sentence are enclosed by brackets. Sometimes dates or other numbers are put into brackets in sentences. But why do they use a bracket? They use a bracket to add information basically. So this is information which is giving these are words basically which are giving you more information about the sentence. Even without these words, the sentences make complete sense. What is there in the bracket is just additional or added information. If you see in this given sentence, what does it say? Jenny, the girl that lives in the yellow house, invited you to her birthday party next week. Now, if I let's see what happens if we remove this part from the sentence. Suppose we say Jenny invited you to her birthday party. Just look at the underlined part. If only we use this much, do we understand what it means? Yes, we know that this is the meaning of the sentence is that there is a girl Jenny who has invited you to her birthday party next week. But what is this extra information given telling you? What are these extra words telling you? These extra words are telling you the girl that lives in the yellow house. It's giving you more information about Jenny. However, even if you remove this information, you are still understanding the sentence. That means whether if you remove even if you remove the information given in the bracket, it does not affect the context of the sentence. Exclamation marks. What is an exclamation mark? An exclamation mark is a punctuation mark indicating an exclamation, showing an exclamation. Exclamation is a very strong emotion, a very strong feeling which is being expressed. So when somebody is saying something in a very strong emotion, there is an exclamation mark. And as we said this in the beginning when we were talking about why punctuations are used, we said that whether you're reading it to yourself or whether you're reading it aloud, a punctuation mark tells you the emotion of the writer or the speaker. Yeah, so that is why you need this kind of punctuation marks which are telling you. Now you when you're reading, if you keep reading without by ignoring punctuation marks, what happens is the main emotion hidden behind that text is not evident, it's not seen. You can understand, you can read, but the emotion is not clear. So in this given example, the speaker is saying, get off my lawn. Now, obviously, if somebody is asking you to get off their lawn, that means that that person seems to be very angry. So nobody's going to say, get off my lawn. They'll say, get off my lawn. It's a very strong feeling, very strong emotion. So it has to come that way. So when you're reading a sentence with an exclamation mark, you're supposed to read it in such a way that it expresses the emotion of the writer or the speaker, the person who is conveying the message to you. The next in discussion is the hyphen. What is the hyphen? The hyphen is a sign which is used to join words to indicate that they have a combined meaning or to indicate the division of a word at the end of a line. Sometimes, when you're writing, there isn't enough place. So you put a hyphen and then you continue the word on the next line. That is one of the uses of the hyphen. As for the second example of the use of a hyphen, this rock hard cake is absolutely impossible to eat. In this example, if you see, rock hard has a hyphen between. So when you're using a hyphen between rock hard, it says that rock and hard are connected with context to the cake. So what is rock hard? The cake is rock hard. How hard is the cake? As hard as a rock. As for speech marks are basically punctuation marks which show when someone starts speaking and when they stop. So these marks show when they start speaking and these marks show when they end speaking. Now, when I teach my children, I always tell them that this is 66 and this is 99. It's the best way to remember speech marks. So you open with 66 and you end with a 99. So although they're not 66, 99, but it's a good way of remembering, and that's how I teach my children by calling them 66 and 99. Speech marks are marks that tell you when a person is speaking. So that is why they're called speech marks. They're also called as quotation marks. The words within a speech mark are directly the words of the speaker. They've not been changed. They're also called to be spoken in direct speech. Example of a speech mark is John said, I really hate when it's hot outside. So, in this case, if you see the starting of where John is beginning to speak as a speech mark like this, and when he finishes speaking, there is in the end, there is a speech mark like this. So, I really hate when it's hot outside is what he's saying. It's his direct statement, the way he has said it. That is how it is put under speech marks. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something new today. Please do like, share and subscribe to my videos. Please also do share it with your friends, family and anybody you know so that everybody can benefit. If you want me to cover a particular topic, please do write it in the comment section and I will try my best to cover it by the earliest. I will be back soon with my next video. Until then, keep watching. Thank you.